Welcome everyone to the beautiful and historic town of Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. If you couldn't already tell, this is a 360 video, so if you're not currently looking at me, use your finger, mouse, or remote control, or even VR goggles to move the image around because you're in control of what you see throughout this entire video. And I want to give you a view of this town like you've never seen it before. And for those of you who may never actually make it here in person, this can be your closest opportunity to seeing what it's like to walk around this area for yourself. We're going to talk some history, see some trains, and some beautiful architecture, and a whole lot more. So if you're ready, come along with me. Before we do our walking tour, I do want to talk some history with you about this town, give you a better understanding about what we're going to be seeing, why it's so famous, why it's so popular, how it became known as Jim Thorpe, because that's not the original name, and also a few other details you may not know about. During this segment, though, I do encourage you to take advantage of the 360 opportunity and look around. There's a lot to see here. You got the train station right there, traffic right in front of us, Penny Farthington bike behind me there. Now, if you do want to see some photos as to how this town used to look back in the day, I can't share those photos during this video, but they will be on my Facebook post when this video does come out. So if you head over to my Facebook page, which is always linked down below in the description, you can see a few old photos of this town. So Jim Thorpe was founded in 1818 as Mock Chunk, and it was known as Mock Chunk until 1954. The company town was founded by Josiah White and his two partners, founders of the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company. It's the burial site of Native American sports legend Jim Thorpe, who actually had no connection with this town during his lifetime. As the town grew, it became an anthracite coal shipping center, utilizing canals and the railroad, and even had its own gravity railroad. Mock Chunk was the location of the trials of the Molly Maguires in 1876, which resulted in the hanging of 4 men found guilty of murder. Following the 1953 death of athlete and Olympic medal winner Jim Thorpe, Thorpe's widow and third wife Patricia was impatient when after 5 months the planned memorial in Shawnee, Oklahoma didn't happen. With fear of him being buried in a potter's field, she heard that the boroughs of Mock Chunk and East Mock Chunk were desperately seeking to attract business, and she made a deal with civic officials. After much opposition from locals, the town was renamed in 1954 to Jim Thorpe. The monument site contains his tomb, 2 statues of him in athletic poses, and historical markers describing his life story. The grave rests on mounds of soil from Thorpe's native Oklahoma and from the Stockholm Olympic Stadium in which he won his Olympic medals. Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania is often referred to as the Switzerland of America, or Little Switzerland, due to its dramatic steep mountainside setting, narrow winding streets, and historic European-style architecture, all of which evoke the feel of an alpine village. So, hopefully that helps you understand as to how this town became what it is today, some of the styling and architecture, obviously, and it's just a really booming, popular little small town here in Pennsylvania that's become ever-growing, ever more popular over the years. Obviously, people like myself who do make videos here do attract more people. You got train rides, you got biking you could do, rafting, kayaking, hiking, shopping, dining. This town has a little bit of everything. So with that being said and out of the way, we're going to check out a few things right now, starting off on the hillside behind me where there's a couple mansions, one of which has a role with the Walt Disney World Company. After that, we'll continue down the main streets. After climbing a really steep hill, catching my breath, we are up here in front of a couple of mansions, and not just any ordinary mansions, some incredible ones. One of which has some history with the Walt Disney World Company. So for starters, right here on the right, that's an old carriage house, which is part of this right here. This is the Harry Packer Mansion, built in 1874. This particular mansion gave Walt Disney World inspiration for their famous Haunted Mansion attraction down in Florida. So if you were to Google Disney's Haunted Mansion and look at pictures of it, especially the exterior of it, you're going to see some close resemblance to this particular mansion here. So pretty incredible to know that this mansion here, which is famous in Jim Thorpe, has connections and ties to Walt Disney World down in Florida. And if I'm not mistaken, they actually do murder mysteries here, and I believe you can stay overnight. I've never been inside. Maybe one day we'll do a tour of it if they do allow filming. But it is such a grand structure. I can only imagine what the interior is like. But we're going to be coming down the hill here to another one, which is the Asa Packard Mansion. We'll get a better view of that. I'll tell you when that one was built as well. But here's just one more look at the famous Harry Packard Mansion. What a sight. Got quite the view here, both behind me of the mansion and looking down into the valley where the train station is. But up here is the Asa Packard Mansion. Although it has no tie to Disney, it is the older of the two. That one was built in 1861. Not as large, but still grand and unique and beautiful. And it has a gigantic front porch there, and we'll see if there's any information we can read over here on the placard. So the gate's closed, we can't get in there, but it does have museum hours of weekends in April, May, and November, and then daily from Memorial Day until October 31st. So if you ever come to Jim Thorpe, all you do is look up on the hillside and you have these two beautiful and really historic mansions. Now if you look at the front of that building, Hotel Switzerland. So, like I said, it's often known to as Little Switzerland or Switzerland of America. We're now at the intersection of Broadway and Susquehanna Street. Broadway's to our right, Susquehanna is going that way. Train station's just over there. We're going to return there later to catch some train action, but we're going to walk up Broadway, up one side, down the other, and just check out a few buildings, some businesses, and I'll share a few details about some of the things I have experienced while I was here. But this is the Jim Thorpe National Bank, grand old structure. The work on it is incredible. And one thing you're gonna notice too is Jim Thorpe's also known for its many different doorways. The homes and businesses has some really unique and colorful doorways and entryways, so pay attention to those because you can actually come here and just do a photo walk of the doorways themselves. But right here is the Inn at Jim Thorpe. It's a hotel and restaurant, and I actually stayed here overnight. And well, in just a second, I'll share a few details about that. So this hotel is pretty historic. I don't know the details offhand. I did cover it though, but I did stay overnight here on the second floor. And my room was somewhere on this side. And the second floor is reportedly the most haunted floor of this entire building. And when I stayed here, well, I definitely experienced a few things. I made a video of it, so if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. But the inside is incredible, and there's a lot of history tied to it, but also some paranormal aspects tied to it as well. But if you're looking to stay in downtown near all the action, definitely consider the Inn at Jim Thorpe. Got a House of Jerky here, and the Silly Goose is another store I recommend checking out. They have some one-of-a-kind gifts, some toys, some unique gift items, activities, card games, a little bit of everything. It's a neat little store though, novelty items, and something you can find to keep yourself busy when you have some downtime. Another location worth checking out is the Rainbow's End Nostalgic Candy, fine chocolates, ice cream, coffee, and gifts. If you want some really amazing fresh homemade chocolates and some old style candy like the chocolate coins or even stuff like kettle corn, that's a great place to stop and get your sweet tooth satisfied right there. And coming up here now is the, looks like Dimmick Emporia Library. Even a sundial right there. It looks like maybe a grinding stone. And it has some Roman numerals up there. MDCCCLXXX. Then I and X. I know the I and X is 19. Is it 1819? 1919? I don't know. If you happen to know what that is, leave a comment down below. Well, this is right here, 1989 and 1889. Maybe I was way off. So maybe it's not 19, maybe it's 89. So I might have answered my own question. As I mentioned, the entryways, something else. Really ornate, not just plain ordinary, but that's how this whole town is. Hey, there's an e-bike. And no matter what time of year you come, this town is worth visiting. And I'm not saying this because I'm told to, I'm saying it based on my own experiences. I've been here all times of the year. Christmas time is magical. The whole town is decorated with the lights and decorations, and certain vendors, they have a winter festival with vendors in certain areas. They have a spring or fall festival as well. I mean, you could follow up with them on their website or Facebook page, but they always have something going on here. And even if there's not anything going on, it's still a great town to walk. Everything is primarily in walking distance. There's also the old jail up here we're going to see, and some other things we're checking out for venues, dining, or some adult beverages as well. So without a doubt, you'll find something to do here. And look at these doorways. Wow. Got a nice blue one there, green and red. This one's wine and cider, and Donard's Donuts. I've had donuts there before. They're really, really good. Big, flavorful. And we come around the corner here. Well, I shouldn't say corner, it's more of a bend. And if I'm not mistaken, they do have a Harry Potter themed coffee shop here, or at least they used to. I think it's on the other side, so we'll maybe see that on the way down. Oh, high five? Okay. Hopefully this is coming through as a pretty cool experience, because like I said, although I'm explaining and showing things, it's up to you where you look though. And you can look up, down, left, right, sideways, it doesn't really matter. Little items for sale here. If you need a banana pouch for change, or a slice of watermelon. Rings and stones. There's a few stores here that sell items like this too. That is, I believe, Race Street over there. We'll check that out as well. There's a few interesting shops. Back up this road, if you go up there, there's some old castle ruins, which I documented in a previous video. Right in front of us is the Mock Chunk Opera House. Come here, see some different shows, music. They have all the posters up here for upcoming productions. There's like a Zeppelin tribute band, Creedence Revived, Beach Boys, Grateful Dub. And just behind that is an old firehouse, which has turned into a pub now. And you know that because you got the old fire hose right here. Would have been pulled by a horse. This is the Marion Host Company #1. Former firehouse, now come here and dine and drink. But you can see the old doors where they would have pulled these type of items out, the horses attached to them, and a bit windier up here as well. First Presbyterian Church on the right hand side. And once you get up here, it's not as busy, not as populated with people as far as like walking on the sidewalks, but there are a few things up here worth checking out if you do make the trek up here. So we're going to bypass some of this and I'll show you what there's to see up ahead. So one of the things coming up here for is this old jail. And this is where the Molly Maguire executions took place. June 21st, 1877, 4 Molly Maguires, an alleged secret society of Irish mine workers were hanged here. So you could actually tour that jail. I never did it because they don't allow filming. I believe pictures only, but you can see where they were hung at. I think it's called the gallows. And there's also other things inside where the inmates would have stayed. I know my friend Alan has taken the tour. I may take the tour sometime just for my own curiosity, but if I could ever get permission to film it, I definitely will. You can also see the fenced-in area to the right there would have been, I guess, considered the yard area where the inmates could come out and get some fresh air. So if you walk up West Broad Street to the top here, you will find this. So just a short walk up from where we left off. And now we're going to be working our way back down on the other side. And aside from some personal residences here, there is going to be another place possibly worth visiting if you want to learn more about when this place was called Mok Chunk. I'll stop here for a moment, give my legs a rest. So a few details I could tell you. Number one, it is a decent day out. It's sunny, of course, but it's on the chillier side. It is around 34, 35 degrees, high of about 39, and depending on where you're walking, it's pretty breezy and gusty, so it does get chilly at times. And it seems like every time I decide to come here, it's really cold. And how did I get here today? Well, I finally made it here by train. As many of you know, I attempted to ride the RDC from Pittston earlier in March, and that ride was not successful because of an ice fall on the other side of the Whitehaven Tunnel. Since that trip wasn't completed, my ticket didn't expire, so I opted to ride today, and we rode once again on RDC Bud Card number 9168, which if we're able to, I'll show you that once we get down there. But we made it here safely, actually got here early today. But aside from that though, it is not that busy here today, thankfully. I was worried about how it was going to be, and there's people here, but it's not slammed, it's not jam-packed, so it's actually not bad today compared to how it could be. But there's actually numerous trips today because we came from Pittston on the RDC. There's another Bud car RDC that arrived from Reading. It arrived after ours, and throughout the day today, the LGSR, Lehigh Gorge Scenic Railway, is running trips from the station to, I think it's Old Penhaven or Penhaven Junction. So people are going to be coming and going throughout the day, but I've been here when it's kind of a nut house, like a zoo. So today, although on the chillier side, it's nice to walk around, not be shoulder to shoulder and be just trying to dodge people on the sidewalk. So I'm definitely not complaining by any means, but I just wanted to share those details with you. But right down here, if you haven't seen, there's a big brick structure, which is a former church, but today it's something else. Actually, I was mistaken. This brick structure, I believe, was a former school, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the Mok Chunk Bible School, not Bible School, Public School. Mok Chunk Public School, 1885. Today it's apartments, 3 towers apartments, but repurposed public school. The building I was referring to is next to that. That's a former church. Today, it's the Mok Chunk Museum. I've never been inside. I'm not a huge museum person unless it's something really particular, like I want to see like trains or something like that. But if you want to learn more about Mok Chunk, this is the place to do so. And they even got an old piece of equipment out here. What's this say? It's a turbine. It was in a dam in the Lehigh River down by the train station. Helped something with electricity that ran the trolley system here on Broadway. Okay, so Broadway had trolley service back in the day, and that helped create power for it. Just learned something for myself for the very first time. Another little fun fact. Oh, look at the little gnome garden here. That's nice. Got some fake nature's carpet. This is in front of the Dolan House. This is a bed and breakfast. So if a traditional hotel is not your style, there are, I believe, numerous bed and breakfasts here. This one's up here towards the top of the hill, kind of right across the street from the Mok Chunk Opera House. And this alone is a gorgeous looking structure. And right there is, yep, Race Street. It's a one-way street. You can walk down it. I'm not going to go all the way down. There is a Christmas shop down towards the other end. But up here you have a few other businesses and a resident with some unique decorations. But there's a Horizon store here that has some really psychedelic things in there, to say the least. And then like a gem and stone shop right here. A lot of things outside you could check out, bracelets, different types of stones, crystals. So if you're into that type of thing, Race Street, you will find it here. But I wanted to show you this residence that has a skeleton crew hanging about, literally and figuratively. They always do it up for Halloween time too. But I love seeing that they have this up kind of 24/7, 365. They got one there with the Santa hat riding a rocking horse. And then looks like one had a bad skiing accident as well. So Race Street is here. Again, you can walk it all the way down. There's some more homes, some more shops down there. But we're gonna head back out to Broadway and make our way down. But it's a neat little side street, alley street. But if you follow it all the way down, it will take you right down to right by the train station there. Mad Hatter Winery and Smokehouse. Next you have menus out here, everything from a kids menu, breakfast, adult beverages, some pulled pork, crab. I never ate here. Did I eat here? I don't know if I did. I may have once, I don't remember. I've eaten in a bunch of different places here over my many visits. But I think this one is themed, obviously, after the Mad Hatter. So, something unique and different. There's a pineapple on that door there. Permanent jewelry, charm bar. Oh, this doorway here, whenever I see it, excuse me, it always brings to mind Jack Nicholson in, did I say his name right? Jack Nicholson in the movie Batman, when he plays the Joker. He's always wearing those colors, so that always comes to mind when I see that. I call that the Joker house. Little sidewalk decoration there. Red bicycle with red lights. Local fair. And some of these shops too, if you do go inside, you'll be able to kind of get a glimpse as to how these places do look on the inside, because some of them were former residences turned into businesses and vice versa. So some of the shops still have those original touches from how they used to be. So it's always worth stopping in some of them, even if you don't want to buy those particular items, just to at least see the interior. I know the Christmas shop on the back side of this, which is Race Street, it's a 24, I keep saying 24/7, it's a 365 Christmas store. It always sells Christmas items all year round. That's all they sell. But that's like a former personal residence, because the kitchen is actually part of the shop area. The stove is there and stuff like that, but they have items in there, ornaments and everything else. Also smells really good, like pine in there as well. But that's just one example, because I have been in there multiple times buying different ornaments. And this, okay, so Race Street, that's a connection right here. And this might be, I think this is the former Harry Potter themed coffee house. Now it's Latte Fairy. Maybe they did away with the Harry Potter theme. I'm not a coffee fan, and to me it smells pretty bad, but at least it used to be Harry Potter themed. Curiosities Coffee and Ice House down here. So like Adam would say, get your piping hot caffeinated beverage. There's Race Street up there in the distance. Here's the hotel. This is the Y on Broadway. And I think this is a former YMCA, if I'm not mistaken. Hence the name Y, Hotel and Spa. I wonder if this is newly open, because I remember seeing this previous visits and it didn't look like this with the outdoor seating and everything. And it looks like it's kind of refurbished or renovated. Yeah, Young Men's Christian Association. And it's a hotel now. How about that? I may have to consider staying here on a future visit if I do another overnighter. Looking across the street too, we walked by that. You can see, I think that's called the turret, that spiral corner with the peak. It's like you would see from a castle. Another building we're checking out from the distance is right next to the library. That store there, but look at the corner of it. Rounded off, all the windows, the shingles on the siding, different colors. That stuff like that really stands out. And it's funny seeing people ducking beneath the camera. I know why they're doing it, but little do they know it's filming in 360, so they can't hide from the camera because you could follow them as you're watching. And something down here smells really, really good. Maybe it's Antonio's Ristorante. Oh yeah, pizza shop right here. I see lettuce on there. That's too healthy. What are they thinking? I heard the pizza's pretty good. I might have to try a slice later. I did have a hot dog with kraut right before I started the video. There's a little vendor right by the station. It was quite good for a hot dog, at least. Jewelry shop down here, gem shop. And then there are some other stores I've been into. So Bear Appetit, I have not been in there. But next to that is Sound Check Records. It's a rather old school record shop. You could find traditional records and 45s, CDs, maybe even cassettes. I've made several purchases there before. You even got the big lava lamp right inside there. Looks like an embryo. And then these stores here are interesting too. They have, I don't know what to describe it as, but it says Emporium of Curious Goods. Go ahead, you're okay. Sure. Yep, thank you. Thank you. Largest new age shop in Northeast Pennsylvania. But they have everything from like dragons in there, spell books. There's a train. This is part of it too. Oh, look at that little diorama. Got the fisherman beneath the bridge there. Yeah, this store is connected with that one. It loops inside. They actually have Christmas decorations in the back, like ornaments, but a lot of unique stuff. These two stores, no matter which one you go into, I highly recommend. Mock Chunk General Emporium. Really neat store. And then right here in Mock Chunk 5 and 10 is like a basic general store. They have everything from the sunglasses I bought because I forgot to bring my own. They got some drinks like from a cooler, candy, snacks, a lot of toys, hoodies. I actually purchased a few hoodies here over the years and a lot of other gift ideas. But if you need like general essentials like aspirin or Tylenol, most likely you'll find it right there. And as we make our way down towards the end here, we have a neat storefront. This is Darren's Den with a throwback to the better days. Right there, Natari, is that Natari? Not Atari, is it? Not Natari, Atari. What am I thinking? Atari, I think that's Atari. It says Telegames. Might not be Atari. I'm sure many of you know what that is, but I've seen that game system before. I don't know what the heck an Atari is. I know there's probably a bad glare. There's an old Pepsi cooler in there, 5-cent drinks. So, like I said, shopping is not a problem down here. No matter what your taste or liking, they have it. So, okay, we're down back here now. We're kind of restarted. Susquehanna Street. Let's cross the street, take a walk around the other side of the station. I'll keep you guys rolling and we'll cross together here. Make you feel like you're here with me. And you do have to abide by the street crossing rules because if you are seen crossing illegally, you could possibly be ticketed. Got a few people staring, wondering what I'm doing holding this stick here. Many don't know it's a camera. It's a long light cycle here. That's the only down part, or downfall, I should say. And if this light changes, we should get the okay to walk. Yep, there we go. It's like they're walking in a speedy hurry. And as you know on my channel, we always talk about or come across coal, specifically anthracite. This is probably one of the biggest pieces you'll ever see. Anthracite. This black diamond is a piece of the mammoth coal vein found in the Panther Valley, placed here August 28, 1976 as a monument to the enterprising spirit of men such as Josiah White and Erskine Hazard, whose early pioneering efforts produced the Second American Revolution, Industrial Revolution, This monument was made available through the generosity of the industry and the miners. Does it have a weight? Oh yeah, 15,000 pounds. That's a lightweight. About 7.5 tons, 99% pure carbon. In case you're curious what it looks like in comparison to me, here it is. This will keep you warm for a few nights, don't you think? Another shameless plug I could give is the Jim Thorpe trolley tour. That's a relatively new attraction here in Jim Thorpe, but they take you around on that street trolley. I mean, it's a vehicle, but it looks like a streetcar trolley. And they give you basically a historical tour. And I think there's different stops you could get off at. But my friend Ryan, who actually works over at the behind the building here, I think is involved with that. They do ghost tours and other things, but from what I've heard, I haven't ridden it yet, hoping to do it this year. Really fantastic, great response from the public. So you could tour the area in style, in comfort, and learn a bit more about Jim Thorpe, formerly known as Mock Chunk. So, oh, they got music playing in there too. Said they're getting ready to depart. And then we have the LGSR train that just returned from their 11 o'clock run. And it will be departing at 1 o'clock, so we will be catching that, get some horn action as it does depart, heading into the gorge area. A little bit louder down here, they got the generator car running, but I want to show you something relatively new within the last couple of years, is the King Cole Cafe car. You could go in here to get hot and cold food, snacks, beverages, ice cream, and even souvenirs. It is open basically every day that the train is running, so if you need like a quick bite to eat when you first arrive or right before you leave, you could do so right here. I've been in there before. It's really nice, polite staff, and convenient as well. This car is parked here all the time, so it never leaves. You always know where it's at. And great little addition to the Reading and Northern train operations down here. It's down here to the entrance of the parking lot area here, and it is bustling with people doing photo shoots, giving a wave, and a lot of out-of-towners and first-timers here that really are in disbelief of how close they are to the trains. It's kind of humorous to watch. I mean, I remember my first time here, being able to get to the trains this close, you know, it's pretty awesome. But you see these people that probably have never seen a train like this before, and they're just over here with their selfie sticks, and they're doing TikToks and Instagrams and selfies and everything else. So it's entertaining to watch, to say the least. I was hoping to show you the RDCs because we do get dropped off and board right there, but they have them parked in the back area of the yard until we do depart later on today. So if I don't get a chance to show you, it is shown in my previous video I talked about. It's 9168, built in 1950 by the Bud Company out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we're back here for the 1 p.m. departure of the LGSR. As you can see, I have a special guest with me. We met up for a little bit today, Jamie Macon. And across the street, there's actually a rally going on. No King's Day. Did not realize that was going to be happening. But our mutual friend Colin is behind the controls today. We actually caught him during my Glen Inoco video, passing through the rock cut. So we'll get some horn action. And if you pan up here to the right, you'll get the crossing lights as well. And all that going on in the background. So stay tuned. Wow, there's actually people on there. Actually people on the open air car. That's a cold ride today. It is tough trying to find a place that's not windy here. It warmed up earlier for a bit, had my baseball cap on, and started getting windy again. Got the knitted hat and gloves back on. But off camera, I did get a slice of Sicilian pizza from that pizza shop. And let me just tell you, the piece was ginormous. I couldn't even finish it. It was probably the size of my head, and my head's pretty big, so that tells you how big of a slice of pizza it was. It was less than $5. It was heated up, really hit the spot. And also off camera, I was talking to Jamie and a few people that I ran into, both employees of the railroad and just friends or acquaintances I do know. So it's great to talk to all of them for a bit, catch up and have some downtime. I do want to add though that these 360 videos I know are different from my normal videos. And you may be wondering, why'd you do a 360 video in Jim Thorpe? And if you're not wondering, I'm going to tell you anyways. Mainly because I've done several videos in Jim Thorpe as traditional normal videos. I wanted this time to be something different, something unique, something special. And this is as close as you could get to being here in person without being here, because you're walking around with me, you're looking where you want to look, and almost like you're in control of what you see instead of me dictating what you see. So for me, I wanted to do something that's going to be special, different, and unique for each and every person watching it. And if these videos aren't for you, well, my other videos are already out there. So if you do enjoy these types of 360 videos, which I've heard a lot of great feedback on, there's going to be more of them coming out. I do them about once a month. I have an upcoming trip where I'm going to be doing at least 1 or 2 on that trip. And if they're not for you, well, they're still going to keep coming out, but that's why you have the freedom of choice to watch what you want, don't watch what you don't want to watch. So it's as simple as that. But for the amount of people who said they don't like this type of format, it's been kind of minuscule compared to the positive feedback I have received. But hopefully enjoyed the views of the town, the history I was able to share, some of the train action, and thoughts along the way. And I'd love to hear feedback on anything that you've seen today. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.